Listen, I get it. You're probably thinking about giving up on Pi Network right now. I've been watching the community, reading your comments, and honestly, the frustration is real. But here's what I think. When everyone's ready to throw in the towel, that's usually when the biggest opportunities reveal themselves. You know what? I genuinely believe we're about to witness a 170% surge that could push Pi to $1 this month. And I'm going to show you exactly why the smart money is positioning while retail investors are walking away. I need you to do something right now. Go to the description and follow my Telegram and Facebook pages. You know what? I share breaking Pi Network updates there that could literally change your financial situation. And honestly, I think the next few weeks are going to be absolutely critical. Don't miss out because you forgot to hit follow. Let me be completely honest with you. While you're seeing doom and gloom everywhere, I'm seeing institutional money quietly making moves that suggest they know something we don't. You know what caught my attention? The timing of these developments feels too coordinated to be coincidental. I think we're witnessing the classic accumulation while retail panic scenario that I've seen play out dozens of times in crypto. Here's my take on the Federal Reserve situation. These interest rate cuts aren't just monetary policy, they're rocket fuel for risk assets. You know what happens every single time the Fed cuts rates? Money flows out of traditional savings and into anything that offers real upside potential. I genuinely believe Pi Network is positioned perfectly to catch this wave, especially with its current suppressed price levels creating an attractive entry point for institutional investors. Now, this Valor Capital listing in Sweden. Honestly, this blew my mind when I first heard about it. You know what this really means? A legitimate European fund manager just bet their reputation on Pi Network's future. I think this is the beginning of institutional FOMO that most retail investors don't even realize is happening. In my opinion, when institutions start building regulated products around a crypto asset, it's not because they're bored, it's because they see massive potential. The on-ramp money integration across 60 countries is something I think most people are completely underestimating. You know what this tells me? The infrastructure is being built for mass adoption, while the price is still dirt cheap. I honestly believe we're watching the classic build the highway before the traffic arrives strategy. My gut feeling is that these partnerships don't happen by accident. Someone knows something about Pi's timeline that the general public doesn't. Let's talk about these token burns because I think this is where it gets really exciting. You know what 160 million tokens burning this month actually means? It's artificial scarcity being created right when institutional infrastructure is being built. I believe this is intentional timing, and frankly, it's brilliant. In my experience, when supply gets squeezed while demand infrastructure expands, prices explode. The technical analysis is honestly painting a picture that makes me more bullish than I've been in months. You know what I love about this descending trend line, holding multiple times? It shows that despite all the negativity, there's serious buying pressure at these levels. I think we're looking at a textbook accumulation pattern, and my honest opinion is that the wedge formation we're seeing typically resolves with violent upward moves. Here's what I find most compelling about the $1 target. It's not just some random number thrown out for hype. That level actually represents about a 170% gain from where Pi is trading right now, which is significant but still realistic compared to the kind of explosive moves we've seen in other crypto assets. More importantly, it lines up with key technical resistance zones on the chart, making it a logical milestone that traders and long-term holders alike will be watching closely. When you combine technicals with psychology, you start to see why $1 is such a powerful target. Psychologically, round numbers carry weight in the market because they act like magnets for attention. For casual investors, $1 feels like a natural benchmark that validates a project's legitimacy, while for more experienced traders, it often signals a breakout point where momentum builds rapidly. Once Pi breaks through a strong resistance level and starts closing candles above it, that's when retail FOMO tends to kick in. People who have been sitting on the sidelines suddenly rush in, afraid of missing out on what looks like the beginning of a major run. That sudden surge in buying pressure can be the spark that fuels a parabolic move, and this is exactly where the opportunity lies. In crypto, these parabolic moves don't come around every day, but when they do, they create the kind of life-changing returns that early believers always hope for. If Pi manages to hold its ground, attract liquidity, and punch through that resistance on the way to $1, it won't just be a symbolic milestone. It could mark the start of a much larger rally. That's why I see the $1 target as more than a price prediction. It's a pivotal moment that could shift sentiment, restore confidence, and set the stage for Pi's next growth phase. The potential ETF angle is something I think could be the ultimate game changer. You know what gives me confidence here? Pi Network being a Made in America project puts it in a completely different regulatory category than most crypto assets. My honest assessment is that if we see an ETF application, it would validate everything the institutional players seem to be positioning for right now. You know what I think is happening right now? We're at one of those rare moments when the market is actually handing out a gift. But the problem is that most people are too blinded by fear, frustration, and doubt to recognize it. Instead of looking at the bigger picture, they're caught up in the short-term noise, letting negative sentiment convince them to step aside just when the best opportunities usually appear. History has shown time and time again that the greatest gains are made when conditions feel the hardest. And that's exactly why I believe this moment, though uncomfortable, could turn out to be one of the most rewarding for those who choose to see beyond the panic. Historically, the biggest wins in crypto don't come when everyone is excited and optimistic. They come when people are ready to give up, and only a few are willing to look deeper. Right now, I believe we're in that exact situation. I genuinely believe that those who choose to act now, while sentiment is at rock bottom, will be the ones celebrating later. Positioning yourself during times of uncertainty isn't easy. It requires patience, conviction, and a willingness to go against the crowd, but that's also why it pays off the most. In a few months, when the market sentiment shifts and momentum returns, the same people who stayed calm and strategic will be thanking themselves for not walking away when things looked bleakest. Here's my honest opinion. If this analysis makes sense to you, if you can see what I'm seeing, then smash that like button. And tell me in the comments what you think about these institutional moves. You know what I really want to know? Are you seeing other signals that suggest Pi Network might be preparing for something big? Your insights help me create better content for our community. I think the next few weeks are going to be absolutely crucial for Pi Network's future, and honestly, I don't want any of you to miss what could be life-changing moves. You know what you need to do? Subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell, because I'll be tracking every single development that could impact your investment. My goal is to give you the information advantage you need to make smart decisions. Remember, this is just my analysis and opinion. It's not financial advice. You know what I always say? Do your own research and never risk money you can't afford to lose. But if you found value in this perspective, make sure you're connected to my Telegram and Facebook pages in the description, because that's where I share the real-time updates that could make all the difference in your Pi Network journey.